Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Plat Anna. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. Or if you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all of that good stuff. Okay, what are we up to, Anna? Setting up here, support partner is going to be a BAP. We've got a Rhine Zarya tank line. Okay.
You want a bandage for that?
Gonna have amazing ult combos. Probably gonna most of the time end up dumping nanos into Rhine.
Defend objective A.
Reasonable setup. What's a wide feed? So
Defend objective
what
A.
is this? Why? Why are we setting up with ourselves? Hey Grunge, why are we setting up? You should do a stream where your viewers coach your gameplay. I could. Why are we setting up here? Like, we are so far from this cover, This isn't getting us anything. We can tuck right here. And it looks like you realize that and adjust, but that's kind of silly. There, okay, good, better. Yes, I'm third-personing this intentionally to show you, because it looks like it's, okay, better.
Greetings.
It's going to be okay.
Okay.
Damn.
Sealed. I don't really think you want to wander over here. Like, this is well enough solved. If you're wandering over here, it's to make a really aggressive play. And your cooldowns to make that aren't really here yet. Like, your nade is almost here, but that's not really the aggressive play you want to make to shut down the Bastion. It's your sleep. So I don't actually want to be wandering from here back to here yet. Here, I'm doing a better job of supporting these guys and the plays that they're going to make. And I can still tuck back here if I need to, because aggression comes, plus McCree will protect. I'm okay. I don't really like wandering back here when all I'm going to have is my nade. Because what you're looking for, if in 2 seconds you did what you're doing, fine. Because 2 seconds from now, if you wandered, you'd be showing up over here and looking for, can I sleep the Bastion or something like that. But just the nade, well, angles for nades are absolutely amazing, and I totally agree with that. The specific situation of you're playing into a Bastion right now really calls for, hey, I want to hit the sleep there. That's what's going to open up more than the nade. Against something that wasn't a Bastion, no problem.
Watching your back.
Okay. I'm also not really sure I'm willing to waste my sleep on that, to be perfectly honest. Because I know that the Bastion... Exactly. Like, I know that Bastion is the thing. So I'm not really convinced. Maybe you were trying to sleep the Bastion here. Let's take a look. No, that's clearly meant for the Zarya. And I kind of just want to hold it and be ready to punish him if he advances at all. Oh, well. Because sure enough, this happens. And, well, okay, this would be such a nice, easy sleep, and that's way more to keep your Reinhardt alive than healing your Reinhardt, or even nade healing your Reinhardt does, or even nading the Bastion does, so let's do that, but we can't.
Lights out. You're covered.
Sure. You tried for it. Could have probably immediately followed up with a nade, but that's okay. Do you think you're getting out? I don't. Okay. Could have just jumped off, but okay. Yeah, if you don't think you can get out, you just want to reset faster. Like, you're just taking longer to get eliminated here, which means their cart is getting more progress.
التكرار يعلم الشطار.
Have ourselves a Widow and a Junk now. One Rhine Hog, sure. Change your angle slightly, fine.
The pain is coming.
Your Rhine's fine. Your Rhine's fine. Looking for some other shots, like your Junkrat.
You're powered up. Get in there.
What? Okay,
The pain is coming.
cool. My Reinhardt's actually, fine right now. I don't love it, but he's fine, and I would like an opportunity to heal my Junkrat. So I'd like to see, is there going to be an opportunity to heal my Junkrat? I would. Oh, look, there's an opportunity to heal my Junkrat. Unfortunately, I'll do. This isn't going to be about out-healing the Bastion. It's not. It's going to be about hitting a Sleep Dart on the Bastion. A nade is the next best thing, but it's going to be about hitting a Sleep Dart on the Bastion, and it's going to be about calming to your team if you have to set up to then try to run over the Bastion. Like, we're not going to out-heal the Bastion. So we have to be thinking about how are we going to solve these problems without just healing.
You're powered up. Get in there.
You knew that bubble was still going to be there. And now you're nanoing into a fight where it's like, hey, we're like this. Let me nano to equalize. Sure, that saves your Reinhardt, and your Reinhardt's going to fall out of range, but he's not going to have anyone that he can perhaps turn the fight with, win the fight with. This isn't really a good ult. I don't expect you to turn this fight at all. Well, could happen.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Please tell me this didn't just happen. We're gonna walk across. Oh my goodness. Did this just happen? Did this just happen? No. We do not have any reason to believe that we can do that. It worked. They didn't punish us, but we don't have any reason to believe that we can walk across this rotation when the enemy's team's attention is looking this way. Like, this is just, oh yay, my Plat opponents can't aim. Cool, awesome, I'm so happy. Like, that doesn't work. Oh, we have a super chat coming in from Malaki Gallagher here saying, thank you for your hard work, Temporal. We supports in particular need all the help we can get navigating the chaos of Overwatch. Hopefully we get some more Zen soon. Yeah, we haven't seen much Zen in a while. I'm going to specifically look for some Zen. That's a good recommendation right there. Thank you so much for the super chat, Malaki. Okay. Back to our Ana here.
Going to be okay.
Okay. Look for your sleep. Fine. Oh, Nardstorm asks, against their comp here with their Bastion, could this team just play very defensively and just try not to give the Bastion any chances to do anything? It's an option, but what'll happen as a result of that is eventually the Bastion will try to force a rotation, and that's when you pounce. Like, you can set up with just like, hey, hard corners, short range, hard corners. They try to walk through those short range, hard corners at all, and you go slap, and you smash them. Like, that is absolutely something that they could do. Not at this particular point in the map, but back on first, for example, and at certain points on second, yes. Okay, they swapped off Bastion, though, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Ouch. So you are playing into double sniper now. It sucks a little. So given that we're playing into double sniper and you do actually see the double snipers, yes, I have a freeze frame and you don't. We do want to think about where can I heal my team from at angles where they won't be able to see me. So we want to start thinking about right angle healing. Right angle healing type stuff where, hey, I can heal my team and they can't see me. We are giving up our offensive contribution of our weapon play. We're just accepting that that's not going to be a thing, and we're going, hey, I'm going to heal at a right angle because I don't want to get sniped by them. And it's not like they have a ton of sustained breaking power with their sniper comp. Hanzo's pretty good at it, but Widow's terrible. And we're going to go, I'm just going to right angle heal like this, and maybe I'll sneak through to drop a nade. maybe to drop a sleep dart, but I'm sort of just giving up weapon play. And right now you're set up in a place where, hey, I've got weapon play to heal my team and weapon play to hurt them, and that's too greedy for what you're playing into. Conceptually, I like high ground. Conceptually, this is usually a good spot, but into double sniper like this, it's too greedy. You'd be rotating more of like I'm going to play from over here. I'm going to play from here. Conceptually here, but not really, because you're stuck when they round the corner. So yeah.
Thank you, Andy.
Okay.
No one can hide from
Clearly just a fat finger on the sleep dart. Hurts you on the inside when snipers take away weapon play from me, right? Right? It's like, wait, I have my fancy sniper skills, and now I don't get to use them.
Right beside you. Get back.
It's a little hopeful for a sleep dart. Ryan will give you opportunities to sleep dart him, is the thing. Like, you don't want these just Hail Mary sleep darts, because it is a 12-second cooldown. And it's like, oh, Hail Mary. Why is Ryan not going to be shielding right now? There's nothing in front of him that's making him want to swing. His shield isn't about to break. He's not nanoed wanting to run forward as fast as he can. He's not beated wanting to run forward as fast as he can. He's not trying to shatter. There's nothing here that's really making him want to drop his shield at all. So I don't know why you'd go for this. And also, who's going to take advantage of it? Your Junkrat? Maybe? Like, you want your sleeps... A, if they're going to be these I'm sleeping tanks from far away when your team can take advantage of it, but B, against Reinhardt's give you lots of opportunities to sleep them. Or not like full opportunities, but like 60% chance this is going to work, 70% chance this is going to work opportunities. And this isn't one of them. This is you just being like, let me just throw my sleep dart at him because I see him. And you really need to stack the odds a little bit better than that.
Right beside you. Get back in the fight.
Like that. You can, sleep. Shatter happens.
Heroes never die.
Right idea. Sure. So, here you are. You got pretty aggressive here. This is, getting into the opponent's sight line again. I understand what's happening. I'll accept that nade even though I don't love it. And now you're in like oh shoot, I'm looking at all of the opponents and I have to do this greedy transition. And I just wouldn't do this greedy transition. Like, I hate that you're here. I understand why you got here. I hate that you're here. I'm not willing to rotate right now. It's just like, oh, I guess I'm going to continue to play from here. I guess I'm going to continue to keep the pillar between me and them. Maybe I'll be able to heal my Genji in a second. Like, I'm not willing to walk across this opening until something happens. Maybe when my Junkrat mines up and decides to fight this Hanzo, I'll rotate. But this is such a naked rotation. Like, there is nothing distraction-wise. You are purely counting on your ability to dodge and his ability to not aim. See, now there's a little more going on with your Junkrat, at least. Now maybe that would be a justification to rotate while he's rotating.
I have your back.
Hard cover, hard cover, hard cover. Oh, here we go. It's the person we're reviewing, it looks like. Yeah, I totally get caught out here. And what's worse, I let my Rhine and Mercy get eliminated in main. Total tunnel vision. It happens. We just try to work to make it better. No, we don't challenge them head on. We don't challenge them head on. Right angles.
You're going to be okay.
Better.
Let's get you back in the fight. With just a scratch, you'll be fine.
Switch. Rotate left. Rotate left. Rotate left.
Scratch,
So here you are. And now your team is starting to get pushed back. And you were rotating here because it looked like the fight might move forward, but now it's clear that the fight is going to move backwards. So you want to already be starting your rotation back left to have this sort of angle against them again so that you'll have cover for where the fight's going to be. You sort of have to constantly read the flow of battle as Anna, which you have some control, but you have to read to adjust where you're going to be for where the battle's going to be taking place 2, 3, 4 seconds from now. And right now, I'm worried that Hanzo's gonna come out and shoot you, that Widow's gonna come out and shoot you, that Zen's gonna come out and shoot you. Okay. Do you hear the footsteps?
Sniper, be careful.
You beat her with sleep dart. Now you lose. Okay. I hope you've calmed this.
You're going to be okay.
Sure. Check left. Please check left. Or do that. No. Stop backing into this sight line. Like, I'll show you. Okay. We're challenging the Widow? Great! We're challenging the Widow. Our team's challenging the Widow. Let me walk in here where it's just the Widow's the only one that can shoot me. I don't want to be out here where the rest of the team can shoot me. If I'm dealing with one threat, if my weapon play is in one direction, I don't want another direction to be able to shoot at me that I know enemies are down. And you do know enemies are down this. If you're aimed in this direction, you'd take a step this way and you'd fight these guys. But if you're aimed in this direction, you take a step this way to block off these guys. This direction blocks off the Widow, so then we can fight, or, we could get, like, more over here, but that's a longer thing, or this direction to block off those guys. We want to be thinking about, wait, am I leaving myself vulnerable to a direction that I'm not actually shooting in right now? I probably don't want to do that. And you backed up right back into it.
Nap time.
I don't know why you're here. This is better. Why are you opening it while reloading? Finish your reload, then open it. You're gonna nano because it's last point.
Get back
Right?
in the fight.
Right?
You're
Right?
powered up. Get in there.
He doesn't have anything close enough to him. I would have preferred Hog. Okay. Good job with the purple there.
I'm on fire. Keep out of my way.
Total tunnel vision, by the way. Basically, just try to keep a sight line on. Try to keep one sight line on. Basically, just try to keep one sight line on me at all times. Right. You want to be like, hey, I have a sight line open for what I'm interacting with, but I don't have a sight line open for something else that's shooting at me that was reasonable to be shooting at me. So, like we covered here, if there's an enemy here and an enemy here, I'm only going to challenge one of them at a time. So I might go here to fight this enemy, or I might go here to challenge this enemy, or I might go here to challenge those enemies. I'm not going to stand here where both of them can challenge me when I can actually only challenge one of them at a time. I'm going to close it for what I'm not looking at. Exactly. I have a big problem with keeping my mind on positioning during games. Like, a lot of the positioning advice I see in VODs is obvious to me now, but I never think to mid-game. How do I want to respond to that? So you break it down to one thing at a time, and you make it a concept or a theme. Like, I've given you two different themes that you could think of right now. One is, hey, if I'm playing into a super strong poke comp like Double Sniper, I need to accept that if my team is here and their team is here, I unfortunately cannot be here. That's not an option. I need to play more in a sense of like here or here. I just have to do that, and I have to accept that my weapon play doesn't get to contribute like that. I might go over here to peek to get a nade off, to get a really fast burst of power off when they're not looking, but I don't get to contribute my weapon play. And in a more normal match, I might get to play back here, and that's fun. That's a place Anna can play, but I don't really get to play there as Anna into snipers. That's one big positioning concept I've given you, and you'd be thinking about just that. Hey, when I run into really heavy poke teams, like Zen, Hanzo, Widow, that's a really heavy poke team, and maybe if this was a soldier instead, probably wouldn't change anything. Maybe if this was a BAP instead, probably wouldn't change anything. It's just too much poke that I'm looking at here, and I don't want to fight into that head on. My poke is not enough to justify the risk there. Only for my burst windows is it enough to justify the risk. So I'm going to try to put cover between me and the opponents and heal my team and still be able to see my team. I'm going to take like a 90-degree angle like that. And you make that a theme and you think specifically about that when those matches come up, and that is where like 10% of your brain power is going, thinking about that specifically and going, yeah, I got it. I'm thinking really, not like with 50% of your brain power, but with like 5 to 15% of your brain power of that specifically what you're thinking about positioning. Keep yourself, and it doesn't have to be this 90-degree angle that I'm exaggerating, but it has to be an angle where they can't really see you, but you can see your team or at least the members of your team you want to interact with. And you think about just that, and you make that a thing that you're thinking about. You don't think about, oh, well, how does my positioning adjust if they have flankers? And you don't think about, oh, well, what do I need to do in terms of reading the flow of where the battle's going to go? And you don't think about all this other stuff related to positioning, or, oh, what does my AD strafe movement need to look like? You're not thinking about all those other things unless those are already habits that you just automatically do correctly. You're just thinking about, hey, not just like you're still playing the game, but for the thing that you're trying to onload as new information that you're actively trying to work on is, okay, I play where their sightlines can't see me, where I sort of have this, I can see my team, but I can't see them if the other team is really, really poke heavy. And then once you feel like you've got that mastered, or if it's just not a poke heavy team, then you could be thinking about, okay, well, there's something different I want to be thinking about positioning. So what am I going to use my brain power on for matches where this isn't true? Because this situation won't be true often enough for me to consistently get practice on this. So when this happens, I switch my brain power to this. But when it's not happening, I want to put my brain power on something else positionally related. And that positionally related thing is going to be, I want to think about where the fight is going, what the flow of the battle is happening. Is my front line moving forward? Is my front line moving back? Is my front line likely to be moving forward or likely to be moving back? And I can tell that based on their health bars. I can tell that based on what cooldowns have come out. Did we just use our Zarya bubbles and not get a ton of value? Then our front line is probably going to be moving back, and I probably want to adjust my position to understand that the battle is more going to happen in this territory. Do we have Zarya bubbles available and they just wasted theirs? Well, we're probably going to push forward, and I want to adjust my positioning for the battle to happen more in this space. That type of thing. And that's with Zarya bubbles. But the same thing could happen with, I just hit a nade. The battle is probably going to go more forward in this territory. Oh, they just hit a nade. The battle is probably going to happen more in this territory. Oh, we used a lamp because they're pushing us. The battle's probably going to happen more in this territory type thing. You look at the health things, the cooldowns, the positions that opponents have taken, that your teammates have taken to figure out where the battle is going to happen. And that's a complicated concept, but it's something that Diamond Danas have to do, and you're trying to make it into Diamond. You're about 2,800 right now. So this could be something that you focus on in your more regular games. And then when you see, oh, this is a super poke heavy game, I don't want to think about all this position stuff. I want to think about where's the battle going to take place. And then once you feel like you've got this where's the battle going to take place thing down, then you could go, hey, or maybe you do this before the where's the battle going to take place, and you just understand this multiple lanes of fire thing. I don't want to be in both at once. And this is the general thing that you're working on. And until you get some level of mastery of this, where you just automatically do it right, where you're just like, hey, I'm comfortable, I understand how this works, you go, this is something that I'm focusing on. And then once you have this mastered, maybe that takes 5 games, maybe it takes 50 games, but like it's just ingrained into your autopilot, then you move on to the next thing. I know I just went over 3 different positioning things, and this one, this not letting them have sightlines thing on you is pretty darn important with how you think about it. More generally, this don't let yourself be vulnerable to places that you aren't using your weapon is generally good advice, but to play a good Diamond plus Ana, you're also going to have to understand where's the battle going to take place and be able to make those adjustments. So that's 3 things. Obviously, we're not done with the VOD review, but you specifically asked, so I wanted to sort of get into that. And I'm not saying those will be the 3 things, but those are all different position things, and you don't try to work on all of them at once. That's the key. You don't try to work on all of them at once because you will get overwhelmed. But if you focus on one, you'll also recognize when those situations are there that you could do it, or you're more likely to recognize those. I think this is a good concrete way to think about during a game. Are there extra sight lines on me besides the one I'm shooting? Exactly. Watch when you get eliminated. Ask yourself, did I stand in the wrong spot? That's good for your own review. Yeah, that's a good place to start with your own reviews. Or even in game when you get eliminated because you've got 10 seconds to go, wait, what just happened? Oh, I never should have been there. That was extremely well put. Good. I was going to ask about how to read the fight and rotate before it's too late, but watching resources like Bevel, Lamp, etc. is really helpful. Excellent. Excellent.
Go. I keep you here. I will keep you here.
Heroes never die.
Okay. No, she's fine. I actually don't even like that.
The pain is coming.
If you needed to heal her now, you could heal her, but she doesn't need healing. Your Reinhardt does need healing, is discorded. I see that your Mercy's low. If your Mercy was still there, you might heal her, but you choose to put another shot into your Rein, and you're not now going to look up at your Mercy. Because think about where your Mercy is. Your Mercy gets extreme regeneration, and if you think about this from the opponent's perspective, well, no, she's fine. Like, she put herself between a wall. She has extreme regeneration. She's out of combat. It's just like a Genji standing right here with 30 health. If you had a, let's say your Genji's at 30 health right here, and your Junkrat is at 150 health, your Junkrat is in more danger, and your Junkrat is going to get more heals, is going to get your next heal shot, not a Genji at 30 health standing right here. Same thing with your Valking Mercy. Your Valking Mercy is not in very much danger right now, and the danger she is in is mostly, hey, someone peeks and one-shots her anyway. So we're not going to take the time to look away from places that we can contribute, like our Reinhardt, who is still missing health and would like to get back into this potentially to deal with our Mercy. I know you don't have any amazing shots right now, any like super critical shots, and you're thinking, hey, my Reinhardt's like 2 shots from being full. I can get my Mercy right now. My Mercy's lower. No, it still doesn't make sense. You still wanted to stay on the Reinhardt here. Yes, I'm being nitpicky with shot selection. But look at, by you looking away, by you doing this wrench away and looking for this shot, if you'd been looking at your Reinhardt, it would have been a much easier flick to either one of your DPS to potentially save them.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt.
So, I know they're snipers, but this team is clearly moving forward and you missed it. Like, this team is clearly moving forward and you're now having to hustle to get back to it. So we want to try to read that a little better.
Go. I keep you here.
I would also be very good with us spending a little less time here. This isn't actually safe. I know you feel it's safe because you've got this wall giving you cover, but if they force a corner round, which they can do on the platform back there that's up a little bit, you've got nowhere to go. You're counting purely on their ability not tame and your ability to dodge. And the thing is, if you're playing here on top of your Junkrat trap, you can get people just as well. You can get your team just as well. You can even peek real quick to throw an offensive ability if you see a window. Yes, they could in theory round on you faster, but hold on, was this Hanzo, used to be Widowmaker, Zen team going to short range round on you? That was never a problem. But if you're over here, or even over here, rather here, you have much more ability to tuck if they round or if they push up here, which is a thing they do. Like if the Hanzo goes, nope, I'm pushing up to here, all you can do is try to run further to your left, his right, to try to get behind that. And that's not nearly as good because you're not particularly close to the cover. So like, and by close to the cover, I mean like this close to the cover. So like, he can open it as fast as you can close it. Whereas if you're here, there's not squat he can do. You can go like, boop, like that. Or if you're back here, yep, I'm healing, I'm doing my stuff, etc. Easy close. Easy close. You don't actually control it. And this isn't the first time we've seen this, where you're like, oh, I'm safe because I have cover. Well, no, you don't really have cover. This is an illusion of cover, because this is very easy for them to force, and there's nothing you can do about it. Should be a support card at the end of the match with 0 deaths. Well, that's not true.
Take your medicine.
Resets are things that happen. Like, I wanted our Ana to go to cart earlier or to jump off the edge earlier to reset. Back at the very beginning of second.
This is not the end.
If Orion comes charging out, he's probably going into their back line, so the front line might move forward if he survives. Okay. Okay, you're looking for a nade. You didn't really aim that.
Heroes never die.
Okay.
Just a scratch.
Why?
You'll be
This is fine. You need to peek to contribute. Sure. Totally fine. Totally fine. You need to peek to contribute. I'm with you. Why did we just jump fully into the middle of the lane? What? Why are we so far from our cover? And you might be like, but it's safe, but we've mostly driven them back. He said, I don't care. What if the situation changes? If the situation changes, I'd have much rather been here. Much rather been here, where I have the option to close this cover, as opposed to here, where, well, I hope they don't hit me. I hope I can dodge well enough to get over to here. No, don't do that. Now, they're not going to, and you might go, oh, but, we're winning. We're pushing them back. Okay, well, we're winning just as hard if we're pushing them back from here. And if I want to go up further, I'll rotate up further to the next spot. There's still not a good reason to be here. Like, this is a really greedy angle for nothing. It's not getting you anything. This is something I try hard doing in games. Keep tight on angles. But I fall apart mid-game like I need a sticky note or something. I mean, you can use a sticky note. You can stick a sticky note on your monitor if you want, but you can also just be like, no, this is what I'm focusing on. You can up the percentage of your brain that you're using for it. It's like, hey, maybe right now you're only using 3% of your brain to think about it, or you get too caught up in it, and you can be like, no, I'm going to try to use more of my brain power to think about staying close to this cover. And you can go, okay, every time, and you can set sort of flags for yourself to do it. You can go like, every time I get eliminated is an easy flag to go, oh, what am I focusing on again? Right, this is what I'm focusing on. But you can also think, every time that a team fight breaks, what am I focusing on again? Right, this is what I'm focusing on. Or you can say, every time you reload, like whatever you set as a reminder for you, okay, that's your reminder, and that's sort of going to do it if you're struggling to really keep your brain partially on it and you're finding it falls as the match goes up. Because you shouldn't be forgetting what you're on or going, what am I working on? Like every third match or anything. Like you should know the whole time and you should be able to work on it. Hey, Blue. Yep, we've got some Ana gameplay here.
I'm taking care of you.
Being in 30 seconds remaining. Take your medicine.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Ouch. What? Why has your ability usage gone to crud in the last 30 seconds or so? So, you're trying to sleep him there, like you're low health, and that's feeling the pressure on you? I guess it's because you're low health, so your pressure that you send that wild sleep dart. You really want to hit Doomfist with sleep darts when he sets himself up predictably for ability usage. You can tell where he's slamming. You can tell that his uppercut gives him hang time. Like his uppercut gives him hang time, easy sleep. His slam is predictable in terms of where it's going, and you can hit him there. Like you're looking for after those abilities. That said, you were at 53 health. That put pressure on you. I'll deal.
You're going to be okay.
Meh. Cockapoo flicks new Ana skin. Nice. spicy.
Patched up.
No. So you're reloading at 5 ammo here, and in some ways you might think, oh, I'm reloading because I'm also low health and I need to stay out of line of sight for a bit, but you can't. You can't stay out of line of sight. You're staying out of line of sight is not going to give you a chance to heal yourself, nor is it going to cause anyone else to heal you. You just peek right. So you came from the left, you just peek right, you keep healing for the remaining 5 shots, and then you nade yourself when you actually get to your reload. Behind cover 5 shots from now. Like that's just the right answer.
I have your back.
Sure. Oh no. Oh no. I do believe this is an example of confirmed nano target betraying you, where you would have liked to pump that nano out faster, and you don't care that he wasn't at Blade because you were going to use the nano to try to get Blade to try to drive them off with Blade, and you would have preferred that to seconds later when you got the Reinhardt. Oh well. Getting a bit tilted. It happens.
Initiating match.
Mouse, where did you go? There we go.
Ready for battle. Ready for battle.
There's nothing I haven't seen before. Stick together. We will complete our mission.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A. Allow me to repair the damage. Repairing the damage.
Tomorrow's episode, Temporal streams his trip to Best Buy to get a new mouse. I can plug in the other mouse. I'm just playing some games right now where I appreciate having the numpad on the side of the Naga, and you guys know my stance on the quality of that mouse. It's not amazing, but I like the buttons.
Allow me to repair the damage. Repairing the damage.
Der Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei.
I'll rest when the fighting is done.
Let's try that again.
Marked by the dragon.
Okay, so we're pushing out here. They're playing this heavy poke composition again. So remember, they're playing themselves with this, which is like as pokey as it gets. They've got the Mercy, they've got the Zen, they've got the Widow, they've got the Hanzo. Mercy is very much a poke hero because she contributes her power into the other poke heroes and she works from a poke range. So like this is a very heavy poke team. We don't care about this tank line. This is still a poke team. And so we're looking at this and we would like to play, again, it doesn't specifically have to be a right angle, but a right angle is the easiest way to think about it where, okay, no, we're not playing baseball. We're playing right angles here to go, hey, we can see our team, but they can't see us. And maybe we'll find small windows to contribute with nades and such, but we're not looking to peek them directly. Yeah, a Logitech G600 probably is the right answer, and I do want to suffer, but you guys enjoy my suffering, let's be honest. Like, you guys watching me suffer watching low-level gameplay is most of why you're here. Like, let's be honest. It works out for all of us. So am I suffering from my mouse not working? This seems like added spice. There you go, Crunch. There you go.
Taking the point.
See that
donate a super chat to make me go get one. That, I like that idea.
I've come back from worse. I will keep you healed.
Just spend it on scars.
Personne n'échappe à mes regards.
Take your
Why did you nade in there? Your Moira's fine. Your Moira really is fine. You're thinking you're gonna get the Reinhardt. I don't think so. Like, it's going to be so hard to get a nade through in there that actually does good purple because it's a small space and your teammates are there and your nades are so fragile for blowing up on your own teammates instead of getting through to your opponents. I really would prefer that instead of you trying to send your nade through here, where it's going to be tough to get it deep enough to get this Reinhardt, even with its explosion, I would have preferred more over here if you were going to take the chance to throw this nade in general. Because, hey, you can threaten these guys, and sure would be nice to push this Widow back. Alternatively, now a nade is easier. You know what's going to happen. You could throw a nade into this, and that's very predictable. Sleep? No? Huh, sleep? Better. 600 doesn't have a free scroll, which is my favorite fiddling thing ever. Press button, let Will spin like a plane turbine is so much fun. Okay, okay. I don't find myself doing that, but I could definitely see the appeal. That was your intention. Okay. Okay. So we have Nano. That's our best tool. That and Nade are our best tool for opening things up when our team gets stuck in these situations where they just can't seem to make progress. So let's see if we can find a good even team fight to create an advantage in. Well, that's it. Okay. Holding nade. Fine. Perfect.
Get back in the fight.
Reload.
Hands up. I catch it.
Escort the payload. Payload's progress.
Sure.
Take your medicine.
How's your Rhine doing? Yeah, that was a long time to not... You didn't have to look at your Rhine necessarily, but to look through the wall at your Rhine. That was a long time to not pay any attention to him. To, again, heal up a Winston who wasn't in the fight, wasn't in danger.
Just a scratch, you'll be fine.
Careful. Yeah.
This will only hurt for a minute. Patched up. You're covered.
Sure. I would like you to get yourself tucked here harder because I don't see your Hanzo with control up here or anything, which means I don't know that their snipers, now not so much snipers, don't have control up here. So I would like you to get yourself tucked in closer because closer gives you more vertical protection.
I have your back.
Yeah, so you gotta prioritize, and that's a shot selection thing. People who are in danger need heals more than people who are lower health but not in danger. You heal people based on the amount of danger they're in generally, not based on how low their health is.
barrier up.
Having lower health does increase the danger that someone is in, but so does positioning, so does cooldown status.
Enemies detected.
I don't need, I don't need to advance with this card anymore. No, don't stay here. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
You're powered up.
Sure.
Get in there.
It's not amazing, but I'll live with it.
Repair the damage.
Zen wasn't actually, or excuse me.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Oh, there's a BAP we could take a shot at. That's pretty good. I don't really need to shoot at the Reinhardt. Just generally not a great shot target for you. You'll do it if it's there, but like the BAP was a better target. Look at this Zen. That was a better target. I can work with the Zarya, but I kind of know there's a BAP over there. Hey, there's that BAP over there again. There's a Zen over there that you're trying for. Oh, there's that BAP again that we reloaded with, what, 11 shots? Yeah, reloading with 11 shots here instead of taking down this BAP. That's unfortunate. So remember, offensive shots, when they're not on the super heavy poke thing, which they're not anymore, totally valid. But we want our offensive shots to, if we have a choice, we'll take an offensive shot on Orion and Zarya if they're there, if that's what's there. But our offensive shots are much more meaningful, cause much more pressure to the enemy team if they're on squishier heroes. Because it's a bigger percentage of their health.
I'm fire. I will keep you healed.
Okay.
I excited the enemy.
You're coming. Get back.
We have cover. We sort of have cover. I sort of like our pillars cover a lot. At least you have the Cardus to cover, but... Nade immediately on cooldown, yep. What? You went for the sleep, not the nade, okay.
It'll take more than that to keep me out of the fight.
This will restore you.
Sure,
Why is the payload stopped?
okay.
Go. I'll keep you healed. Nano boost is ready to deploy.
Why? You have some, like, just full prey mode sleep darts that you go for here. You're thinking he's going to drift left harder? That's not even, like, that's a hard drift left for him. That's not like he drifts left a little bit past cover. That's like he is full transitioning to the other cover. That was not maximized. Like, that is right in the middle, as opposed to maybe I'll catch the Reinhardt drifting a little, or maybe I'll catch someone like a BAP peeking. Like, that is a not optimized sleep dart. See the Reaper. Okay.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Can we not be here? Like, I know it's high ground, but I don't particularly like it because you've got nowhere to go. Your spot to go is here, and I'd like you to just go here. Like, actually just go here type thing. This is already something that's a little bit of a pain for them to get up, so, like, I would actually say drop and go here right now, not stay here, because it's going to take you too long. At least scoot further to the right where you can more quickly get behind this.
You're going to. I've seen worse. You're going to.
Shadow come.
60 seconds remaining. It's just a scratch. You'll be fine. Go. I give you here. I will keep you here.
Cap.
Get you.
That was probably a better name than Flames, but that's
Get in
fine.
there. Watching your back. My shot find them.
This is better. You found your cover. Reasonable. I don't know why you're scoping at this range. Whoa. Whoa.
10 seconds remaining.
Sure. But you see that Widow shot just went off. I'm reloading in the open, and I'm rotating across in the open, and I don't really have a reason to do either in the first place. Oh, look, I can interact with the battle from here. I can't interact with my Reinhardt, but I can interact with the battle from here. I don't need to do this. This is...
Payload is approaching destination.
Sure. Okay, now you just have to go to point as the jump time. Okay. So we could talk about your sleeps, or we could talk about your positioning, but I think excuse me, we could talk about your sleeps, or we could talk about your nano, but I think we're actually going to keep this to your positioning, because you've got the most things to do there, so we'll make this a positioning video. The first thing for your positioning and the easiest thing for your positioning is literally going to be stop being so greedy with this middle of the lane stuff. Like, I know that's boring, I know that's obvious, but stop being so greedy with the middle of the lane. We like cover. We like cover. We don't like wide swings into the middle of the lane. We like cover. Like, again, we don't like playing here. We're more happy to play here or even here. We're not going to play here. So get out of the middle of the lane. You shouldn't be in the middle of the lane unless you're going from one spot to another. Like, maybe you were playing here and you're rotating to here, and you, as part of your movement, are hitting a few shots from here, and you do a little bit of strafing here, maybe a little bit of strafing too, because you're evasive movement, fine, but you're working your way to here. You're not getting lost and then dancing and then hanging out here. That's not a thing that happens. So that's like obvious, but it's really easy to fix, and it gives you good mileage, because you will get punished for this stuff. You will, even when it seems like, no, this is my cover. No, fix it. Please fix it. You should always have better cover that you're actually close to, because if you're close to a cover, what you're using as cover, you can control how open and closed that angle is rather than your opponent's controlling it. If you're using this as your cover, for example, and your opponent is right here, they have complete control over whether this cover is open or not. You don't, even if you think it's your cover. If they're here, you guys have about even control because you're about equidistant, and we don't really like that. So please get your cover. That's going to be the first thing that I want you to focus on. The second thing that I'm going to want you to focus on is going to be, hey, let's figure out. No, you didn't have a ton of this. Do I want to do that? The second thing I want you to focus on is going to be how many lanes do you have open, because it's going to help you on every hero. It's going to help you generically. Please figure out how many lanes you have open and go like, wait, if I'm interacting in only one direction and there's enemies in both directions, I only want to be visible to the direction that I'm fighting. Something like this would be even better because I've, got the option to give myself cover against them while still having cover against those guys. But I'm never going to be here. I'm never going to be in these situations where multiple are open. I'm going to think to myself, why do I have multiple directions of enemies open? I can only shoot my weapon in one direction at a time. And you didn't have a ton, huge problem with that this game, though you did have it a couple times. I'm still going to make it your next thing because it's so generically helpful in Overwatch, and it's a problem that's, again, pretty easy to get rid of and will help you in other games. It really shouldn't be showing up much at all. You just shouldn't end up in these situations. Like, these are very easy to avoid type thing. So, like, please fix that. And then we've got two options for our third point. We could talk about where is the battle going to happen, which is important, and it's probably the more general concept, and you will need to polish that skill, but I'm not sure that that's what I want to do yet, because you weren't. Yeah, it is. Even though the sniper thing, you weren't respecting them hard enough, it still is. So then our third thing is going to be where is the battle going to happen? And this is going to be the hardest, most nebulous point for you to understand, but it's what we talked about earlier. So after you get those first two things ingrained one at a time as habits into your gameplay, we're going to move on to this understanding where the battle's going to take place thing. And that is going to be, hey, I can read it based on where people are positioned, what cooldown statuses are for both teams, what health statuses are for both teams, what ults are being used. If it looks like my team has ults that they want to use, I can read that because I've got to be adjusting my positioning so that I'm not left behind if my Reinhardt advances, so that I'm not right up here when my Reinhardt gets pushed back and then the other team pushes the Reinhardt and goes, oh, look, free Ana. Like, you have to read that stuff and you have to be moving. So even though I was just saying, hey, play on corners, and that is the first thing you have to get right, you're then going to find you're not on corners because you're rotating between corners. But you are rotating between pieces of cover. You're not just hanging out, you're rotating between pieces of cover. So, like, you want to predict where the battle's going to happen because you have to be a mobile Ana who's adjusting to where the battle's going to take place so that your team can maintain its momentum. So that your team, when having a successful push, doesn't suddenly lose the team fight because you can't heal your Reinhardt, your Winston. You can't get your Nano on your Genji. But also, you're not right up here where you get crushed. So those are the three things I'm going to give you. Again, there's another positioning thing we could have talked about. There's definitely some sleep stuff where we could get some better prediction stuff on that. Your aim with it is generally fine. That Doomfist one was really wonky, but we could do some more predictive stuff. We could also talk a little bit more about nanos, but I don't think either of those makes sense for you as real focuses right now. You've got places you can improve your gameplay, and that's great because it means you can go work on these things, these three things I gave you, one at a time, preferably in the order I gave you, to level up your gameplay. But don't overwhelm yourself, as we talked about earlier, and don't be like, oh, hey, I forgot 3 matches later what I was working on. You're focusing on one thing, and you are using like 15% of your brain power for that thing. And if you need to set flags, like every time we're between team fights, I'm going to remind myself what we're working about. Fine. Set flags. Set mental flags where some event causes you to think about it again. That's perfectly fine. Or stick a sticky note there, be it a digital sticky note or a physical sticky note, whatever the case may be. But don't just tune it out. Don't just forget about it because you do have to actually stay focused on it to work on it as a habit. And again, not like 30% of your brain, but like 5 to 15% of your brain. Okay. That's going to do it. If you or anyone else has questions, you can throw them up in chat now. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all of that good stuff. Going to give you guys just a moment there. And let's scroll back up here. Once again, thank you, Malky, for the super chat. That was thanks for your hard work, Temporal. We particularly need all the help we can get navigating the chaos of Overwatch. Hopefully we'll get some Zen soon. And I do agree, and we will be looking for some Zen, keeping our eyes peeled for some Zen we can review. These tips were exactly what I was looking for. I knew positioning was my big problem, but it's nice to have concrete goals that you've assigned to me. No problem, Drew. Best of luck to you. And I think we're going to go ahead and call it there. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.